Hello!
Happy Monday with the Mavens!
We are coming at you live from my kitchen. Oh, I kind of wanted a different angle. This is what
Too
you
late
get.
now.
Oh, so we are a little bit further away from the camera today, but we wanted to just hop in the kitchen and talk about some tips, some tricks, answer some questions, do a handful of things today. So if you guys have any questions along the way, you can feel free to put them in the comments. We will do our very best to try to see them. We're across the counter. And we're excited. We got things to talk about.
We're gonna cook up some goodness in the kitchen this morning, answer some questions, and just chit chat.
We're gonna just chit chat. Before we jump into, I guess you guys can't see everything that's over here, but before we jump into why this is all here, we should chat about group coaching.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So we are so excited, you guys, because we are, for the first time ever, maybe the last time, we don't know, we'll see.
Yeah.
We are offering group coaching. So for those of you who have been on the fence about whether or not you wanted a one-on-one macro coach, group coaching is a great introduction to it. So space is limited. I will say that we are only having our, you're only able to sign up for the next week or so because our program starts November 1st. And so we're going to shut down signups before then so that we can get everybody started on the same day. But tell us a little bit about it. What are they going to learn?
Yeah, you guys, it's so fun because we are still offering individual one-on-one coaching, which is our bread and butter. It's what we absolutely believe in, are passionate about, love to do. So that is still an option. But the group coaching is more for those, I think Haley already said this, that aren't necessarily ready to fully jump into tracking with specificity for a long period of time and going through what we like to call a metabolic revving reversal process and kind of that whole sequence. So if you are just looking to really get a grasp on foundational health and you want to understand how to fuel your body and how to fuel it really with a macro composition that's set for your goals, you're going to receive a one-time macro assignment, which we will say, like, it's still so much better than nothing, like understanding, but and we'll go into this, we'll go into the differences between one-on-one coaching and group coaching. But with the group coaching, you'll still get all of the foundational initial pieces of that initial assignment with up to one change. But then in addition to that, we're going to do a deep dive every week for the 5 additional weeks. So it's a 6-week program altogether. And each week we're going to really dive into a topic that is transformational for your health, so that at the end of the 6 weeks, not only are you understanding how you're fueling your body and easier ways to fuel your body and the impact of food on your body and your brain, and really how to be moving towards your goals, but you're going to have a much better understanding and tangible, applicable tools for understanding the role of inflammation in the food that you're eating, for becoming more stress resilient, not necessarily, yes, evaluating and reducing some stress, but being more resilient to the stressors that are in your life because of how they impact you. You're going to really understand how to utilize water and fiber for things like energy and digestion. You're going to understand how to incorporate the right type of movement for your goals. And what am I missing?
I think that's all of them. Oh, we are going to talk about, maybe you said this, I was kind of zoned out. Kind of daydreaming, which is kind of what I do. We're going to talk about the role of inflammation and inflammatory foods also. Yeah. And it's going to be really cool. We're going to do weekly Zooms with our clients. We're going to dive in, we're going to go into the depths on these topics so that you come out with a great understanding of these 5 pillars of health, that is what we're calling it. And you will have an overall good idea of how to build a healthy lifestyle for yourself and your family. The other cool thing about it is if you do decide after our group coaching that you want to continue on with one-on-one coaching, then we will offer that to you at a discount. It'll be a really great transition. It should be an easy transition for you from group coaching into individual coaching. The other thing about the group coaching is it's with Emmy and I. We're taking this on as our own personal project that we're really excited about. And it's just, I think it's going to be super fun. I think it's going to be, I think we're going to laugh a lot, and it's just going to be a good time. So if you're looking for a good time,
come join us. Be our buddy. And it is like, it's a one-time fee of $189, you guys. That's like roughly $30 a week for 6 weeks. And what you will receive from that, especially if you apply it and you ask questions and you dig in, it'll change your life.
Yep.
Like it will help you transform to have better longevity and better vitality and just have a healthier foundation.
Yep.
And the information is so good, but it's one thing to just get information. It's another thing to like talk through and strategize and apply the information. And that's where the difference, I think, can really come in. We want to make it super simple, super straightforward. If for some reason you're not able to join the Zooms live, you'll be sent the recordings, you'll be sent all the tools, you'll have access to message Haley and I at any time, you'll be part of our group chat. We're really excited.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So a couple of the differences between group coaching and what we do with our one-on-one clients. So for our one-on-one clients, there's a team of 5 of us coaches, and we spread the love between all of the coaches. Emmy, like I said earlier, excuse me, Emmy and I are taking on these group coaching clients, and then those clients will probably get filtered between Emmy and myself if you move into a one-on-one coaching situation. As far as like one-on-one coaching, it's really individual. It's really specific to your individual needs and desires and goals. And so that's one thing. We sit down and we really look at your goals, and we create assignments that are specific to your goals, and we reevaluate those each week. We look at your numbers each week. There's a weekly check-in that our clients do. It comes right to your inbox, and then you fill out this little survey. It comes to us. And then we go in, we look at your numbers, we shift things around if and when needed, or we chat with you about it. It's really like specified to your specific needs, which is really great. And we can kind of get into the nitty gritty of nutrition with you. We explain why we're shifting your calories up or down or around or whatever that looks like for you. And it's a really, I think for one, it's like we are like huge cheerleaders of our clients. Like we want
having a knowledgeable coach in your corner can make such a difference.
Yeah, and we want you to win as much as you want to win. And so so we pull out all the stops as far as like tips and tricks and different things you can do to be successful. I think that having somebody on your side rooting for you and giving you all of the the things that we wish that we would have known when we were going through it the first time is really important. And it's really individual.
Yeah. I would say the biggest difference between the one-on-one coaching, which is what we've done now for quite some time with just such amazing success with our clients. Like we pinch ourselves that we get to do this and that we get the outcomes that we do. But I think the biggest difference is in our one-on-one coaching, we're going to really utilize what we like to call that metabolic restoration, that reverse process, where we are shifting your assignment week over week and really moving you towards your goals, taking you through a reverse, a potential cut, and a reverse into ultimately that maintenance where you have a more flexible metabolism, a higher caloric intake, and you can maintain leaner body mass with sustainability and tangible tools. With the group coaching, you are going to get an assignment, and we can change that up to one time, but it's really focused more on foundational education to really get you the tools that you need to start your trajectory. And so although the one-time assignment is very individual to you and the consult you fill out and all of that, it's really geared more towards the education, and you will leave with everything you need to do that. Now, we would then suggest that you consider jumping into that metabolic reverse with us, but you'll leave with a lot of tools whether you decide to do that or not.
Yeah.
So we're so excited, you guys. And
so
we have
excited.
sign-ups coming in, and we do have limited spaces. So if it's something that you are interested in, you can go over to macromavens.life. If you're interested in the group coaching, click the green group coaching button and you can sign up from there, and you'll receive a bunch of information, and then we're gonna all start together on November 1st. And what's so cool is that it's 6 weeks. So you land mid-December with all these tools going into Christmas, feeling amazing, and then going into the new year, if you want to do the one-on-one, it could be really perfect timing. Also, we have a ton of individual new clients coming on right now. Like it's always a good time, you guys.
Yeah.
Like Christmas and Thanksgiving are only 2 days out of the year, and honestly, going into the season with more energy and better sleep and better hormones and better mood and feeling good in your own skin, like who doesn't want that? And It's not to say you can't enjoy your holidays. Like we're not about big restrictions.
No. In fact, I wouldn't even be here if it was about that.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
And I think something too is you know, a lot of people will wait for the new year and make that big New Year's resolution. Yeah. Well, I can't remember what the statistic is, but it's something like 80% of New Year's resolutions are broken within the first 2 weeks. Yeah. Like, you don't need to make a New Year's resolution to have better health. Like, start now and then just make it part of your lifestyle through the new year. And then if you think about it, if you were to start now, think about where you can be by the new year. You know, what is that, 60 days or something like that until the new year? I'm not sure if that's right. Yeah. Anyway, a couple of months until the new year. And so you can already be that much ahead of all of those people who are just sitting around waiting for the new year to make change. Yeah. Don't wait. Do it now.
And there's a lot of little things that you can do. And that's why, like, I just wish that things were made simpler. Like, I wish, and it can be, and like, that's what we are attempting to do, is to give really easy steps and tools to shift your foundational health. And like, it works.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's so cool. Okay, guys, we're gonna jump into some things. We're in the kitchen for a purpose. We want to just equip you guys. It's funny because sometimes we think things are like, oh yeah, well, everybody knows that. But then we'll come across things that we're like, oh,
that's like, so simple. That's so or simple. Like, why haven't I been doing that way the whole time?
Yeah. And so we thought we would make a few things with you guys and just show you some things that could make it easier. One being, for those of you that are tracking with specificity, a lot of times you're like measuring things out individually instead of just keeping one dish on here and zeroing it out every time and then adding something to it. So we wanted to do a simple recipe in front of you guys and show you how simple it is to just put it all in one bowl and go along as you are.
Just gonna build the recipe right in this bowl, right on top of the scale. Now, Emmy is super annoying. She has this like flap thing on her scale, which I don't know. I have the same exact scale and I removed that thing and it has made my life so much simpler. There's like really, okay, yep, and now it's all better. So one thing I love to do, and some people don't do this, is before I even turn my scale on, I set my dish on it. That way it's going to zero out before I even have anything in my dish. Yep. And it's not going to take the weight of my dish. So
the only thing is going to be us seeing this and you seeing it. So this is a scale that we really like. If you don't have a food scale or if you want a new one, this one's so versatile. It's actually on the toolbox of our website. So macromavens.life, click toolbox, and there will be a link to this exact scale. It's the one that both of us use. And I have a much more slender, dinky one in my motorhome, but I really love this because it makes it so simple.
I have an idea. Why don't we get a book or something to prop it up on? We didn't test any of this out before.
Oh, here's a box. Can you guys see that? Are you able to see the numbers? I think if we just put this towel behind here. The only thing is it's going to mess with the weight.
Well, not if it's sitting flat.
Oh, got it. Okay. Can you guys see that?
I don't know if anybody can see it.
We'll just tell them.
Okay, we'll tell you. We promise.
Okay, so first of all, the scale's going to be on, all right? So right now it's on ounces. I'm just going to hit the mode button because I actually want to weigh everything in grams. It's going to be more specific, and the recipe we're using has everything in grams. Not all recipes will, but a lot will. We both really like Lily's Eats and Tells. A lot of our clients use her cookbooks. I have all of them. It can make things so super simple. This one is the one called Planned. What's so nice is that when you're making recipes out of here, there's a barcode scanner that scans the macros right in. And if you follow her recipes, it's just all by grams. Yeah. We also have a ton of recipes. Coach Emily is incredible, and she makes recipes almost every single week that we share on our feed, and they all have the macros calculated and they're delicious. So yeah. Okay, we're at 0, okay?
One of the reasons why we use grams, maybe Emmy said this and I was tuning out, but if you do things in ounces, that's fine. I tend to measure my bigger items like chicken or meat by ounces, and the smaller things by grams, just because you can be really specific. Like one gram is much smaller than the difference between like 1.1 ounce and 1.1 ounce. Anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay, so today we're just going to make a simple double chocolate protein mug cake, because who doesn't want a chocolate mug cake, right?
Especially if you're in Southern Oregon, it is rainy and finally feels like fall, and nothing sounds better than like a warm cup of delicious something out of the microwave.
And we're gonna actually talk about some of the ingredients we use as we go along. So We're gonna dump it all in here, never taking this off of here, making it really easy on ourselves.
Yep. So it says she calls for oats. Or oat flour, which Emmy didn't have and we didn't want to make any. And so we're just going to go ahead and use almond flour. So 20 grams of almond flour.
I'm actually going to use coconut flour.
Hold on. Is it zeroed out?
Yep.
No, it's not. So if you hit the tear button, then it'll zero out. Now it is. Boy, this is going to be fun.
Okay. So then I just put this in here until I get to 20. I'm at 21 grams.
Perfect.
So then we have that in there, and then
a half a scoop of chocolate protein powder, 15 grams.
Okay, so what's so nice is that when you use some sort of a powder, a half a scoop can mean a lot of different things. So if you're measuring by grams, once again, it's going to be super specific. I don't use a lot of protein powders for like actual protein shakes, just because one thing that we do say is that we really like our clients and ourselves to get the large majority of their food from real whole food. Now, if you're in a pinch or it's the only way you can meet your macros or you really enjoy a shake in the morning, like absolutely use them. I use this more for like baking, and I do have a vanilla one that I use for shakes for my kids. What I like about this, and there's a couple ones that I really like, I'm not a huge fan of whey. It bloats a lot of people. You don't always know exactly what you're getting. This one is actually, and this would be more for animal-based protein people, not necessarily plant-based protein.
But if you're not doing dairy, like if you do take in animal proteins and you're not doing dairy, this is great because it is not whey protein. It's actually a beef isolate, which is you're getting the protein from the animal and not the dairy. It doesn't taste
beefy at all. So I really like the active
This one tastes like chocolate.
If you are plant-based and you want a suggestion, we're happy to give those as well. Yeah. So how many grams?
15.
Okay, so then what you do is instead of just adding to that to make it simple on yourself, you're just going to zero this back out. So
if you hit the tear button, it zeroes it out.
And so now we're back to 0 grams and we're gonna go to 15. So, perfect, 15 grams.
All right, now we need 1 tablespoon or 5 grams of jet black cocoa powder.
Okay, so then she's gonna hit the tear button, I believe.
There we go, zeroed back out. We'll wait for Emmy to come over with the 5 grams of
This is a big bag, but the jet black, it's so dark and it makes things so delicious.
So delicious.
Okay, so you said how many grams?
5 grams.
Okay, so I'm just gonna stick this in there. 5 grams.
Sweet. Next, we're going to have a 1/4 teaspoon baking powder. Now, sometimes with different recipes, you will just have a measurement, like a 1/4 teaspoon. She doesn't give us grams for this one. It would probably only be about, I don't know, maybe 2 grams. We'll see. Not even 2 grams. A 1/4 teaspoon is not much.
Okay.
Donezo. Next, we're going to do 3 tablespoons cashew milk.
I'm actually going to use milkadamia. I really like macadamia nut.
45 grams.
45 grams. You got it. And so I'm just going to pour directly in here. This is really fun. I feel like we're on a cooking show. We kind of want a cooking show.
So she's at 45 grams. Next, we are going to do 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of liquid egg white.
Oh, I forgot to grab this. Sorry.
So if you can see, I'm just zeroing out the scale after every ingredient. Makes it super easy. Emmy's fridge is big and it's really full, so she's kind of got to dig around for her egg whites. Oh, here she goes.
So I get these at Trader Joe's. It's just the cage-free liquid egg whites.
You can get them at Costco too.
Yep, and it makes it super simple. I also oftentimes waste my yolks because I eat a lot of egg yolks, but this makes it really simple and it's more affordable.
Yeah, 30 grams.
And you already said you zeroed it out?
I did so.
Okay, I'm a little tiny bit over, but
that's all right.
Out there.
All right, and the next one is mini chocolate chips, which we will actually add in a minute, and half a teaspoon vanilla extract and a pinch of salt.
All right, so why don't you put the pinch of salt in there?
Very specific. Pinch of salt. Now, actually, salt is what makes it magic, you guys.
Oh, you guys, it's so good. And you said a half a teaspoon of vanilla. I don't usually actually measure my vanilla, but
I don't either. And then look at this cute little whisk, you guys. We're gonna just whisk it up.
And now we only have 1 dirty dish. Although, I mean, I have a couple measuring utensils, but a lot of these I just actually keep in all of these.
Whoops, I'm making a mess. Sorry.
Oh, that's quite all right. Okay, then a really important step is to pick whatever mug makes you happy. I am a collector of pottery mugs because I love them. And I picked this one because it's gloomy here today, and this one brings me sunshine.
But if you wanted, you could actually just toss this right into the microwave and not even use the mug if you don't want to.
Yep, you totally can. I'm going to actually spray mine. I like to get this avocado oil. I'm just going to give it a little spritz. You don't have to do that because you can just scoop it out with your spoon. Sometimes I like to flip mine because it's really fun. And then sometimes I like to put...
flip the cake in the mug?
Yeah, I like to flip the mug and
and like dump it out.
Yeah, and then I'll take coconut milk whipped cream.
Oh yeah, and some strawberries
and a little bit extra salt.
Ooh,
it's so good.
Maybe a little drizzle of peanut butter, which we will. We'll talk about that.
And you'll track all that. So then you just put it all in the mug.
You have a little spatula.
I sure do. But we're talking about not getting things dirty.
Well,
we should have probably just cooked it in the.
We could have built it in the mug also if you wanted to, but we didn't think things through before the live. We just like to hop on and be spontaneous.
Here's a little spatula for you.
And then
I like little things.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cute. Look, it has a little flower on it.
Okay, and then one of the things that I do, having little mini chocolate chips on hand is so great because they go a long ways. And so I'll put these on like my zucchini protein chocolate muffins. I'll put them on a lot of things.
I just like to put them in my hand and then I put them in my mouth. Yeah, you can track them. You should track them if you were tracking.
Yeah, you should track all of it.
Yeah. So before we add those, let's put this back on the scale.
And now we're just going to zero that back out to go back to grams.
And we're going to toss 5 grams of mini chocolate chips just to stay within the boundaries of the recipe so that we can track it accurately.
And these mini chocolate chips, you just want to make sure you put on the top. You don't want to mix them in. And actually, you get quite a bit
out of 5 grams.
Yeah. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, and now we're going to go pop this baby in the microwave for an amount of time. I'll do that while Amy chats.
Okay. So the purpose that we wanted to do this, or one of the reasons we wanted to do this, is just to show you guys, like, you know, if we were doing that on our own and not explaining it, that literally takes me 1 to 2 minutes. And I have a delicious, non-inflammatory goodie to have in the evening that I could have pre-tracked because I have everything that I need. You also don't need to make it super complicated, but a lot of people don't know that you can just keep the same dish on there. Like when I'm doing soups, when I'm doing salads, anything I'm doing. In fact, I'm gonna make us big salads for lunch today. I'll just put the bowl on here, and as I go, I zero it out every time, and I just throw the next stuff on there. And it just makes it so super simple so that you're not like, move it off, put it on, move it off, put it on. So sometimes it's those little things that can be huge time savers.
Yeah, the other thing I like to do, like if I make a huge pot of like carnitas that I already have logged in my FitnessPal, let's say I have the giant recipe in my FitnessPal, I'll set the huge pot of carnitas on my scale, zero it out, and then I will scoop out however many ounces. Let's say I want 5 ounces. I'll scoop that out into my bowl, and it's super easy. Instead of like trying to guess, you know, it makes it super simple.
Yeah, it does. Okay, where can I find this recipe? I got on late. So this specific one is in the planned book for Lily Eats and Tells. One of the things we mentioned earlier is that Lily Eats and Tells, we both really love her cookbooks. They are spendy. You can buy the digital version for less expensive.
She also has like all of her recipes on her blog for free.
Almost all of them, yeah. And so if you go online and just type in Lily's Eats and Tells, her blog has a ton of her recipes at no charge. It's just worth it to me to have the physical cookbooks. I use them all the time. And a lot of my like big batch ones that I do, in fact, I'll grab them right now. You can keep talking.
I'm not sure what she's grabbing, but if you head over to Lily Eats and Tells, to her blog, she posts tons of her recipes for free. I eat out of these every single week. Also, one thing I tell my clients is I don't think that I've ever made a single recipe out of one of her cookbooks that has not been an absolute slam dunk with my whole family, which is a lot to say because we have a lot of different like tastes and flavors. I have teenagers. I have one who will eat anything and everything you put in front of him, and my daughter is not that way, but honestly, she loves everything out of Lily Eats and Tells, which is great.
I have all 3 of her cookbooks. I think there's actually a Crunch Wrap one that I don't have just because that's not really my cup of tea. But this one that's just her initial Lily Eats and Tells, it's all about like big bulk Like, I make so many of these things. Like, the carnitas that I make every week is her recipe.
What do you make?
Carnitas. Because I like to cook things in big bulk, meaning that we'll eat off of them for several days. I do a lot of her soups. I do a lot of her bulk meats. What I love, in addition to her flavor combinations just being so wonderful, is that her portion sizes for the macros are really incredible. And I love to eat. I eat a lot. And so,
like for instance, her white chicken chili, like one serving I think is like 400 grams, which is a big bowl of delicious goodness.
Yeah. Can you use any protein powder? So that's a good question. I've made a lot of different mug cakes, and I will say, like, you can typically sub out protein powders. It is going to make a difference if it's a whey powder versus like a hydrolyzed beef powder versus like a completely plant-based powder. But for the most part, it might change the texture a little bit. Yeah. This one does call for oat flour. I usually use almond flour or coconut flour. I was actually out of almond flour today, which is weird.
Do we use coconut flour?
We use coconut flour today. Yeah.
So you will want to make note of that. Like if you, and one thing about MyFitnessPal is you can build a recipe in MyFitnessPal. If you take something directly from Lily Eats and Tells, they're already preloaded into MyFitnessPal, which I feel like we're like, we should like tag her and see if she'll give us a code or something because we have no affiliation with her whatsoever.
Yeah. I just think what's so lovely, and we're always creating recipes too that like we love that we want to share with you guys, but what's so great is that it just makes it really easy. And her newest cookbook, which is this planned one, does have the barcodes in it if you're in MyFitnessPal. So the 3 that I have, one is called Planned. This one is really been used. It's like crinkly. It's just Lily's Eats and Tells. And then this one is called One, and it's like all about big one pot meals.
Yeah.
And I love them.
I do too.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what the protein mug cake looks like, right, fresh out of the microwave. I don't know how well you guys can see this, but Emmy and I we're gonna go ahead and just take a bite. Oh, it's like brownie consistency. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And if you let it cool down a little bit, the consistency will change just a little bit. But you guys, if you really enjoy something chocolatey, well, any time of the day, I oftentimes really enjoy that at night. And you pre-track this in. It's such a delicious dessert. I do like hot things with cold things, so I would want to put some cold coconut milk whipped cream with this.
And one thing, and I'll just tell you guys also, and it's not too sweet. If you wanted to add stevia or something to it, you can, but I like it just like that. The macros on this.
Let's make a line, and I'll track half and you track half.
Okay, don't eat over on my line. So the macros just on this mug cake are 4.7 grams of fat, 21.4 grams of carbs, and 19 grams of protein, and 5.3 grams of fiber. So pretty decent, for a treat, Yeah. And then if you share it with a friend, then you only have to track half. Which half is mine?
Well, I'll take this half. You guys, I just want to eat this. Sorry. I'll stop.
Okay.
Okay. Another trick that we want to show you guys. You guys, that really is so delicious.
Oh, here, I want to put this on mine. Let's do it this way.
The peanut butter on that? Yeah. Okay. Another trick that you may or may not know is when you are scooping something out, whether it be like Haley said she puts her whole thing of carnitas on there or soup or whatever it is, and scoops it out and looks at the negative number, right? So what you're going to do is, actually, you're not going to put that on there yet because you want to weigh it. Maybe you do.
I just weigh it down to 0. I just started at 0.
Okay, then
but
go ahead.
Whatever, you can do the way you want.
No. Go ahead. Okay, so.
And peanut butter, you guys, peanut butter is one of the things. I love peanut butter. I love almond butter. I love cashew butter. I love all of the nut butters. And one thing about it is it's really, really easy to just blast through your carbs when you're eating nut butters because you think that like it's only a tiny bit, but a tiny bit of peanut butter makes
You mean blast through your fats.
Just your, what did I say?
Carbs.
Oh, well,
but still.
I just meant your macros just in general. Whoa, that better
Sorry,
head from
guys.
your side. I'm not watching her, you guys. I have trust issues when it comes to food. So what I do, because I do like a drizzle of peanut butter, and that's all you need is a drizzle. And so I will just take my dirty fork. I'll get a clean one.
I don't really care. And here's the thing, you guys. Like, you really got to measure things like peanut butter because
It makes a huge impact.
A spoonful, depending on what your spoonful looks like, can be the difference of hundreds of calories. So when you're tracking with specificity and we're retraining your metabolism to know what's coming and going, and we're climbing you or cutting you, you got to be specific in that season, just for that season, so that the science and the work can really happen. So,
and let's talk about nuts, because I hear a lot of people talking about nuts are so amazing because they're packed full of protein. I want to flip the script on nuts, because nuts are so amazing, but they are little balls of fat. That's what they are. You get some protein in them, but they are mostly fat. So be aware. So when I go in here, one serving is 180 calories, 32 grams, 2 tablespoons, and that's 15 grams of fat. I do not want that much, because it's not worth it to me to have 15 grams of fat.
I'm just eating my portion so you can put peanut butter on yours.
Good girl. And then give it to me. And then there's 7 carbs, 3 fibers, and 8 grams of protein in this. So you're getting twice as much fat as you are protein. So these are little fat balls, right? But I'm going to take just a little bit. I only want like maybe 6 or 7 grams is all I need.
I'm so sorry if it grosses you out to watch people eat, you guys.
She makes noises when she eats. She groans.
I'm like,
I don't know if you can hear her, but she's like, she's like an animal. So I only want like 5 or 6 grams, because that's about all I need. Like this is 7 grams, and I'm not going to take any more than that, because that's perfect. And I'll just sprinkle it on top, and then I'm actually gonna sprinkle a little bit of extra salt on there, and make me jealous.
So what she is showing you here is that it's a negative number. So because she zeroed this out with it on there to begin with, it's such an easier way than trying to scoop it out and weigh it.
Yeah.
You just scoop it directly out of here, and it's gonna give you how much it subtracted, and that's the amount that you're gonna log.
Yep.
I do want to piggyback on fats for a minute, because fats are not bad by any means.
No.
Like, you need fat, especially from a hormone support standpoint. But what Haley and I both can attest to, and what we see all the times in our clients, is when you're first tracking, you might be eating all the healthy fats, right? Avocados, grass-fed butter, olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, all the things. And that's fantastic. But when I first started tracking, I thought I ate pretty healthy and pretty clean, and I was eating so much fat that my ratios were way off. And so I would eat like huge handfuls of nuts, because they're good for you, right? Well, nuts are good for you. They're nutrient dense. They have a lot of really wonderful properties to them. But a little bit of nuts go a long way. It's like I could easily eat 1,000 calories in nuts in one sitting. Like,
I probably was, because we would have like a bowl of nuts on the counter, and I just walk by and grab a handful and eat them. I had no idea I was probably eating like 300 calories every time I grabbed a handful of nuts.
And so one thing I do tell my clients when they're struggling to hit their fats, like meaning that they can get their protein and their carbs in, but they're just having a hard time hitting their fats, I'm like, do you enjoy nuts? If so, like, get a little handful of nuts, measure them out, because it's going to help you hit your fats super fast. But then on the flip side, you need to be careful. And so some of these little scale tricks, it's funny because, especially when people are spending a lot of their time and tracking with specificity, these things can save you so much time. So
oh my gosh.
This recipe that we did today took us a little bit longer, because we were talking about every step, we were showing you, but it could take me a couple minutes at night to throw it in there. And it is such a treat, and it's so delicious.
It feels really indulgent, even though like it's not.
And that's what's great, you guys. When you think about food, like, we're not saying we don't want our clients to enjoy our food. Like, we want to improve your relationship with food. We've worked hard to improve our own relationships with food, but we enjoy food. And I think that that's not a bad thing. But if we can start looking at food as fuel and also enjoy that fuel, there are a lot of nutrient-dense, delicious foods that serve our bodies and our brains, right? And so something like this,
you have pretty chocolate right here.
Thank you. Sorry. It's pretty well balanced, and it is a treat, but we're still getting, we're getting egg whites, we're getting coconut flour, we're getting, jet black cocoa powder, vanilla, like things that they have some really great properties to them. So anyways, all of that is to say, find some things that you really enjoy that you can work in, and like enjoy what you're eating, but let it serve you. Let it serve your body, let it serve your brain. And if you don't know where to start on that, like reach out to somebody that can help you, because there is no reason in reinventing a wheel when somebody can walk you through the process and get your metabolism revving and have you enjoying your food and fueling your body and your brain.
Yeah. This would be delicious with a little bit of cinnamon on it too.
Yeah. And here's the thing. If I would have just had a regular chocolate mug cake right now, I would not feel good. Like, I really enjoyed that and I feel great. It's not affecting my brain. It's not making me sluggish. It's not making me hyper, like that quick sugar reaction.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty well balanced.
Pretty balanced.
And I'm really in tune with how foods make me feel now, because I want to feel good, but I also want to enjoy what I'm eating.
We got a question about where do we buy the jet black cocoa powder? I get mine at natural grocers. Or you can buy them online too. There's lots of different ones. Thrive Market. And we'll drop actually, we have a code for Thrive or on our website, right?
Yeah, but we can put it in the stories after this, because it gives you, I believe, 40%
off of your first
order.
And they are fast, you guys. Like, you order, it's a great website. It's like a health food restaurant
store.
A health food grocery store online, delivers right to your door. They are fast. Like, you order and you get your box within like 2 or 3 days usually. And especially right now with gas being so expensive, it's a little bit cheaper than going to the grocery store, I feel like.
This is my Thrive order.
So yeah, the Jet Black you can get from Thrive. You can get different protein powders, nut butters, olive oils, all of the things that we used here you can get from Thrive.
Yeah. And what I love about it is that it's all like curated, meaning that depending on your needs, like if you're non-dairy, if you're non-inflammatory, like whatever, you can just like click on that and it'll only give you the options that fit that need of yours. And the price points are really, really good.
Yeah. They're comparable to anywhere else in town.
Yeah. I think before I was getting my Jet Black cocoa on Thrive, I just ordered it on Amazon. So that's always an option too. So yeah.
I'm almost done.
But if you can start to find some swaps that have you enjoying your food, but that are feeding into your health and not feeding into disease, because really, you guys, every time, and this sounds somewhat dramatic, but every time we are putting something in our mouth, it's getting us closer to health or closer to disease, truly, because food, what you fuel your body and your brain with is what is going to interact with your cells, with your metabolism, with the inflammation in your body. And if you have low-grade chronic inflammation over time, it's ultimately going to be what leads to disease, because it's what leads to cell mutation. And so I don't say that as a scare tactic, other than I just say, like, it doesn't have to be, like, you don't have to feel deprived. Like, you can enjoy your food.
Yeah. Also,
thank you for thinking this is great. That makes me so happy.
We would love to have a cooking show someday.
Yes. I think we've mentioned that twice.
Well, it's a new idea that we both thought would be fun today. But yeah, it's not hard. And like Amy said, we don't want to scare you guys. Like, eating an anti-inflammatory way is not difficult. Like, it's easy. You just find swaps that feel the same, but only you feel better.
Yeah.
So for instance, the first time I ever eliminated inflammatory foods, I didn't realize that my body was inflamed. I didn't even know.
Yep.
And I'm a chronic, yeah, sure, I'll try that. I'll try anything kind of person. I'll guinea pig on myself a lot. And I eliminated, I did a 30-day elimination diet where I eliminated all grains, all sugars, all alcohol, all dairy, just for 30 days to see how I felt. And I didn't even realize that my joint pain went away. In the mornings, I would often wake up and I couldn't get my jewelry off because my fingers were puffy. All of that went away. And it was really just because of the food I was eating. And for me, gluten is a huge trigger that I didn't even know until I did that. And so you can just learn so much about your body and how you feel on different things. And especially if you wake up in the morning and you just don't feel good in general, or after you finish a meal, if you're feeling sluggish or you have indigestion or you just don't feel great, the only thing that should happen after you finish eating is that you're no longer hungry. Yeah. You shouldn't feel acidic. You shouldn't feel bloated or anything like that. You should just not feel hungry anymore. And so I didn't realize that all of the things that I was feeling wasn't typical and that I didn't have to feel that way.
And once you start feeling really good, you're like, I want more of that.
Yeah.
And so, and you also still want to enjoy your food. So if you can find foods that like really do serve you, that you enjoy, like why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
And then you just be strategic about it and make sure you have those things on hand that you really like. Like one thing that I didn't want to give up that I love is chips and salsa. And so, but like standard chips are super inflammatory. Not only like the corn, and I'm not saying like our clients can technically eat whatever they enjoy, and if it fits in their macros, they're going to have progress if they're consistent because of the consistency in fueling their body and shifting over time. But if our clients are open to also learning about starting to minimize and eliminate inflammatory foods, it's going to help with their long-term health and their longevity. And so like back to chips and salsa, like I was able to find a less inflammatory chip that doesn't use seed oils and that isn't primarily made out of corn. It uses avocado oil, and I like the way they taste. I don't like the way they taste. I actually love the way they taste.
And she has a pantry. She has a
Oh,
pantry full of them right now. I can see like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 bags of them over here.
So it's for my whole family.
And you can get these from Thrive Market also.
So, and actually Costco has the big bags. I get the Siete chips, and I probably have chips and salsa almost every day. And I put it into my thing. Because, like, these, if you like spicy, these jalapeno lime
So good.
are delightful. And what's great is the only oil that's in there is avocado oil. So it's cassava flour, avocado oil, coconut flour, chia seeds, sea salt, jalapeno powder, a little bit of coconut sugar, nutritional yeast, citric acid, poblano pepper, like all natural whole food
spinach,
ingredients.
onions, like it's like guilt-free. Not that anybody should ever feel guilty about what they eat. We do not believe in shaming people for what they eat or feeling guilty. You make a choice. You're a grown-up person. Hopefully you're a grown-up on here. So don't feel shame. If you are feeling shame about what you're eating, then give us a call and we can chat.
Yeah, it's not about shame. It's about being equipped with information and then making choices that serve you well, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm just saying, like, we do have, and my son's favorite snack in the whole wide world is chips and salsa, and I really want him to be minimizing inflammation, especially because it affects his nervous system so much, like early on. And so he has transitioned over, for the most part, to Siete chips. Oh, I'm so excited. I might have a problem. I will say the churro ones, don't buy them.
No, actually. So, yesterday.
They're so good,
my gosh.
you guys. It's ridiculous.
So if you like, it is so ridiculous. They're so delicious. And I make sure that I track them because I eat a fair amount of them. But yesterday, I don't do this very often, but I made a protein smoothie in the afternoon that my daughter and I split, and I wanted something crunchy in it. And so I took the churro chips and I crunched them up, one serving of them or a half a serving of them, and I put them in my smoothie, and I thought that's going to be gross because they're going to get soggy and nasty, and they didn't. They stayed crunchy and delicious the whole time. What are you doing?
I was just looking at stuff in my Thrive
box.
box.
On me back here. What was that?
Oh, I just was like showing something, but I don't get all snacky stuff from there, but I do. Like,
yeah, there's some snacky stuff in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of snacky stuff in there, but I was just going to show you guys a couple other things. Like, I get my olive oils from Thrive. I really like this one. Since we're here and we're in the kitchen, why not? It's just an organic olive oil. I use a ton of apple cider vinegar in my marinades, and so I get these Big Daddies, and I go through them pretty fast. In fact, the chicken on our salad today is going to have a bunch of this on it. And then I also, I get all my spices from there, but if you guys are gum chewers, I hope you guys are actually enjoying this. If you guys are gum chewers, I love this. It's sugar-free, aspartame-free.
Aspartame.
No, it's aspartame. That's what I've always called it. We call it aspartame.
I'm pretty sure it's called aspartame.
It actually is called aspartame.
Which it does not have. It doesn't have aspartame or aspartame in it.
Anyways, this cinnamon gum, it's delightful. So I'll stop being, and I buy all my spices through there too.
Yeah, they're great.
We redid our kitchen a while back. One of my very favorite things in my whole kitchen is my spice rack.
And it was so good that I copied her when we redid our kitchen.
Oh, okay,
Anyways,
guys.
we could do this all day. what else do you have on our list for us to chat about today?
Okay, so we talked about kitchen tips. We talked about we didn't talk about MyFitnessPal hacks.
Let's talk about a couple of things on MyFitnessPal. So a few things that are important to note. Some people, when you get into MyFitnessPal for the first time, or maybe you don't even know what it is, but it's an app where we have our clients track all of their food. If you're curious, if you want to keep a food log of what you eat, I suggest that as a great first step to kind of see where you're at in general. And MyFitnessPal is a good place to do that. So,
can I piggyback really fast?
Please, yeah. I love a piggyback ride.
Me too. If you do that, MyFitnessPal does have an automatic macro calculator for you, depending on what your goals are. But it does not take into account so many things. So something is better than nothing oftentimes, but we'll have a lot of clients that come in that have been using that automatic calculator or an online calculator, and it just has not taken into account so many factors in their life, and it's honestly, it's leading them astray.
Yeah.
So I would just be wary of that.
Yeah. You can hop over to macromavens.life. Click the hop on board button if you want a free consult about macro coaching. Yeah. Anyway, if you go into MyFitnessPal and you are curious about like how do you change servings, how do you change from ounces to grams, you do that all in the diary settings of MyFitnessPal. So you can click on diary, you can click, let's say you're eating your breakfast and you click on the breakfast button and you're wanting to input your food. Let's say you are eating 2.5 ounces of Greek yogurt in the morning. And you can go to the servings button. You can change whether you are recording your servings in grams or ounces and the number of servings. You can do that all at the very top header. It's really simple. You just, if you think you can click on it, you probably can. It's one of the great things about MyFitnessPal. I feel like it's a pretty intuitive app. If you are a premium user, which you don't have to be, you can use the free.
Make it a lot easier,
you can use the free version if you want to, like, I don't know, level up, I guess, and you want to pay for the premium version. It is so easy. It makes it on the very front of my phone, even it has my macros calculated where I'm at all day long. I go in and log. I can see right where I'm at any point in the day. I don't have to go in and toggle around looking for my information, which is really great. So you can change all of that in MyFitnessPal as far as like your servings, the number of servings. Sometimes it seems silly if I do, like, if I change my servings to grams, if that's what I want to use, and then I go in and let's say I have 150 grams, like I'm kind of scrolling a lot to get to 150, but it's more accurate, and I like that.
I will say too, and one of the things I just want to point out is oftentimes people think that one serving is a whole bag of something, and so just be really wary of that, because like for instance, let's just take one of these bags here. Let's just use this one that I had out. This is actually 4 servings. And so
even though you could sit and eat the whole bag, like if you do that, you got to make sure that you track 4 servings of, you know,
and so if you scan the barcode, because if you use MyFitnessPal, let's say I'm going to scan this barcode, it's going to automatically load the macros and the calories for 1 serving, which in this case would be 28 grams or 19 chips. We don't necessarily want you like counting out your chips, but you can just throw them on there and just weigh out 28 grams, and that's going to be a serving. Or whatever serving you want, just put it in there and then change the grams. Like let's say I wanted, 30 grams. I just poured some in a bowl and I measured out 30 grams. I would just then change it to 30 grams. So, but that specificity, once again, we don't want people having to track with that specificity forever. It's for a season, because we're really wanting to repair your metabolism, and your metabolism is sophisticated and wants to know what's coming and going. The only way we're going to be effectively able to climb it and to get it to rev more and more is if you're fueling it consistently with your assignment, and we're changing that assignment over time.
Yeah. So. And the other thing I'll say about chips is like, it'll say 19 chips as a serving, but like you get all those broken chips, like you can't count those as one whole chip. Like you want to get your whole chip.
Yeah. Either that, or I'd be like, oh, that's just
that
like
one doesn't count.
Chip.
Like that one doesn't count.
But that's why we want to work to get your calories up really high, so you feel like you can have all the things that you enjoy and that you can reach your goals. Like there's no reason you can't do both.
Totally.
Okay.
What's next?
So we chatted about that. Okay. We had quite a few questions that came in. One that we answered to a minimal degree on our stories earlier. But quite a few questions in regards to clients that either had food restrictions or some form of autoimmune disease going on. How can we help them? So I'll give you the nitty gritty.
Why don't I give them the general and then you dive in?
Okay.
That's kind of who we are. So first and foremost, like with anybody, whether you are struggling with an autoimmune disease or you do have food restrictions, like the first thing that we tell all of our clients is the number one step to getting yourself healthy is nutrition. Mm-hmm. It's the one thing that we have 100% control over. We have control over what we put in our mouth all of the time. And so if you can have a coach by your side who's teaching you kind of the best ways to go about your nutrition, then that is step one. And whether you have food allergies or food restrictions, or let's say you have ulcerative colitis, or maybe you have Hashimoto's, or you have a thyroid condition, or there's a bazillion things, lupus, whatever it is. The first step to, I think, healing in any way is through nutrition.
Yeah.
So now you can dive into the nitty-gritty.
Well, I'll first say if you have any type of food sensitivities, the great news is that when you are following a macro plan, there are no foods you have to eat or that you can't eat. So you're going to build your macros around the foods that fuel you and the foods that you can have. And if that's difficult, we have a lot of tools to help you do that. Yeah. So I would say that first. I would say and I was actually zoning out a little bit in her answer. Sorry, I was thinking about something else. So
she
this
usually
is
doesn't do that.
I don't. I try not to.
I didn't really say anything.
Well,
I just said, yeah, you can do it.
I think what is so beautiful about why we get so much success for clients that come to us with some form of autoimmune condition is oftentimes one of the biggest things that's at play when you're struggling with some form of autoimmune is inflammation. It's that chronic low-grade inflammation that takes root over time, primarily from food, but oftentimes from other factors like stress, like lack of sleep. There's a number of things. And so especially with those clients, not all of our clients are interested in learning more about reducing inflammation, but especially with our autoimmune clients or like our IBS clients, our thyroid, Hashimoto's, SIBO, metabolic disorder, like all of those types of clients, the role of inflammation is super significant. So if we can be shifting your macros and also really looking at what we can start doing to reduce or eliminate some of the more inflammatory foods that sometimes are actually considered healthy, but maybe not from an inflammatory standpoint if you're struggling with some form of autoimmune. When we start doing that, it reduces the chronic inflammation throughout the body, which then allows you to function better from a cellular standpoint, including your metabolism. So we do see sometimes it can take a little bit longer for the body to respond, but if you're consistent, it happens. And it's so satisfying because we see so many clients that are able to reduce or eliminate medication, that are able to have much higher sustained energy, that are able to start doing more physical things that they didn't think they were going to be able to do because their autoimmune created a lot of pain and discomfort and fatigue. And so it's really exciting.
It's super exciting.
Yeah.
I also think that a lot of people who have had food allergies or food restrictions for a lot of their life come in kind of nervous. Yeah. And we have amazing coaches who are like so smart. Yeah. We have a lot of vegan clients. We have a lot of vegetarian clients who are seeing great success. A lot of times, it just takes your coach to get in and get to know you. What do you love to eat? What are some things that are like deal breakers for you? Things like that. And we get creative and we make it happen. Yeah. And so I think that, if you are somebody who has food restrictions for whatever reason, as long as you are upfront and honest with your coach, we can absolutely work with anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really satisfying, especially a lot of our clients that will have labs done around the time that they start and then they'll go back in and they want to share. I love looking at improvement in labs.
Yeah.
And it happens all the time, especially from a hormone standpoint for men and women.
Yep.
It's so cool. For men, when you start fueling yourself appropriately and getting the right ratio of macros for your activity level and your goals and to preserve your muscle, your testosterone is going to respond positively. And there are so many men, it's becoming an epidemic in my opinion, because as time goes on, testosterone is decreasing in our male population with age. It's going to decrease with age to some degree, but at a more rapid rate than it should be. And it's awful.
And it doesn't need to happen.
Nope. Sure doesn't.
Nope. And it's easy to fix with
Yeah.
nutrition.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you guys, nutrition can fix so much if you just fuel your body and your brain and do a little bit of work for a season.
Yeah, you might get tired of us saying that, but like honestly, food is medicine.
It's the truth.
It's the truth.
It's
folks.
the truth.
Come here for the truth.
Yeah.
What's next?
Okay, I feel like we're kind of soapboxing it today. I need to move a little bit. Okay. Okay. We started with group coaching, but I do want to. I just want to mention money, 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 money. Okay, you guys, we're so thankful.
We're giving these away.
Yeah, $200 cold hard cash in the form of a Visa cash card, not
cold hard plastic.
Yeah. But we just really, really appreciate your guys' willingness to share this new group coaching that we are launching. We're taking group coaching signups through the 31st, so through this next Sunday. And it really is amazing.
Wait, the 31st is Monday.
I'm sorry, through Monday.
Halloween.
Yeah, through Halloween. And if you're willing to share, we just as an added thank you, if you tag somebody you think might be interested or you share the post on the group coaching, we're going to pick one random person to gift that $200 Visa cash card because your willingness to share, like, it means the world. We really want to get this information out there. The program's super affordable, you guys. Like, some people do one-time macro assignments for the same price we're doing a whole 6-week course for. So we really want to get the information out there to people.
Spread the word and you can win $200.
I was shocked to see my most recent labs. I've been with Macro Mavens for 7 months and I've lost over 30 pounds. My body feels great.
I love that. That's one of our clients over, and who was reading a comment from our Instagram page, and that just makes our hearts swell.
Yeah.
Because honestly, you know, when Emmy and I started this, it was, I don't want to call it a pipe dream. It wasn't a pipe dream because we don't do that. It was like really our heart for starting Macro Mavens was we wanted more people who've been struggling because they've tried everything and haven't been able to hit their goals to be able to get there. And we were like, this is too good.
Yeah.
This is too good to keep to ourselves. We've got to figure out a way to get it out to the masses and to share it with people. And you guys, it just, every single time we hear a client win, it just feels so good. I feel like we are so like, I don't know, I feel like we're on the front lines.
Yeah, because you guys, it is like, there are so many people out there struggling, and there's some small changes that we can all make. And it's just, there's so much misinformation out there. And the healthcare system, I mean, it's so broken.
She's thinking about whether or not to say something.
Well, I just was reflecting a lot yesterday because yesterday marked 4 years out from my bilateral mastectomy. 4 years.
4 years. Okay, so she's 4 years out. It probably took us 4 years to convince her that, like, to take care of this. So a little bit of history on Emmy. You guys might already know this. We've talked about it a lot, and she's really open. Emmy has a history of breast cancer in her family, like a deep history, like mom, sister, aunt, like every woman in her family. And we were like, why her friends?
And I'm a BRCA gene mutation.
Yeah, I mean, so many reasons to go in and take care of this, like, ahead of time. And a group of friends and I, we're like, Emmy, it is time. Like, you have to do something about it. And so she did 4 years ago.
4 years ago. And the timing, like, couldn't have been better because there were some things. And I, like, just listen to your intuition, you guys.
And
like,
your friends.
And your
Listen to
friends. And your family.
Yeah.
Because I had a lot of things going on, and I wasn't doing a lot of things that I'm doing now that can really serve your health and that can really prevent further gene mutation. And I am so thankful. I am so thankful to be 4 years forward and be in a different place in my life and have these tools that really help me feel good about where I'm at foundationally, but more importantly, that hopefully that are allowing us to, like, change lives and to get people energized and hormonally balanced and sleeping better and better moods. And it's changing lives. It changed my life.
And I'm glad she did it 4 years ago because, like, I can't imagine, like, I just can't imagine if she wouldn't have, you know, if you have health stuff going on, talk to your doctor.
Yeah.
Don't ignore it.
Yeah.
You know, things shouldn't be ignored. They need to be dealt with. So
yeah. So true.
Anyway.
So all of that is to say, oh, thank you guys for joining us. Like, this was super kind of random, and we really love being in the kitchen, so we might join you from here more. We really appreciate your engagement, your comments. We love our client community. It's like the best.
Macro Mavens is the best, you guys. And I'm not saying that because we created it.
Yeah.
But like, honestly, I get so much joy out of chatting with our clients, listening to their wins and transformations, helping them through like roadblocks and hard times and getting them to the other side and breaking through barriers. And it just, you guys, it is life-changing when you have somebody on your side rooting for you. And so we want to be that for you. If you've been on the fence, you just want to chat with us about it, let us know. You can head to macromavens.life, click the hop on board button. Doesn't commit you. It just starts a conversation. If you're interested in group coaching, click the group coaching sign up. It's all at the very top of our website, really easy to get to. And we would just love to partner with you. We would love to see you, if you've struggled with your health and you're ready to start a new health journey, today is the day. So don't wait. Start today. And
let us know how we can help.
Yeah, we'd love to partner with you guys. So have a great week and check back next week. Maybe we'll be in the kitchen again.
Maybe we will. Or maybe we'll be out of the area.
Maybe we'll be out of the area.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We will put some links in the stories after this. So have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.